Today's lesson is over horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, so what is a horizontal line? A horizontal line goes like this. It goes right and left. All right? And it usually looks like the equation y equals and then a number. We're going to leave it at y equals 3 right now. This type of equation, a horizontal line, can be keyed into the calculator. And I'll show you that in just a second. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to make, the way that you graph a horizontal line, if y equals 3, you go up 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. And you make a horizontal line. So you graph a horizontal line through the 3 on the y-axis. Now why does it look like that? Well, let's look at this for a second. If we were to create a table, X and Y, let's start right here. Let's say we have this point, this point, this point, and this point. We're just going to write down these ordered pairs. This ordered pair is at -1, 3, right? This one is at 0, 3. This point is at 1, 3. And this point right here is at 2, 3. So all your y values equal 3 if you have a horizontal line. All right, so let me show you what it looks like on a calculator. All right, if you have a calculator, and I said it can be keyed into the calculator, you hit this button right up here that says y equals, okay? Now our equation was y equals 3, so I'm gonna type in a 3, and I'm gonna hit graph. And right there it shows you it's a horizontal line across the 3 on the y-axis. All right, and that's how you'll do that. Now, which axis does the line cross? Well, it crosses on the y-axis. What is the slope in y? Okay, well, let's see. If we have change in y over the change in x, all right? Did we move up or down to go from here to here? No. So we did not rise at all. Let's say we're going to use this point and this point. So I didn't go up, but I moved over 2. All right? So it's 0. Okay? So that is why it's 0. When 0 is on top, the answer is 0. So there is not a change in y. So it's 0 on top, and say we moved over x on 2 places. Doesn't really matter even if you use 1. The slope will still be 0. It's a flat line. And what I talk about is that you can walk on a treadmill on a 0 incline. A lot of students understand that. You can walk across flat ground. So it's called a 0 slope. Okay? Let me fold my paper here. Now, what is the Y-intercept? Sorry about that. What is the Y-intercept? Well, the Y-intercept is where the line crosses the Y-axis, okay? So, this is where the line crosses the Y-axis. All right, so where does it cross the Y-axis? We're going to do it as an ordered pair. It crosses at 0, 3. Okay? What is the X-intercept? The X-intercept is where the line crosses the X-axis. So this is just information for you. The X-intercept is where the line crosses the X-axis. The Y-intercept is where the line crosses the Y-axis. So is there an X-intercept? Okay, no. Why? because this line will never, this pink line will never cross the x-axis. So I'm just going to put shorthand because the line does not cross the x-axis. Okay? Is this a function? Yes, this is a function because it passes the vertical line test and the x's do not repeat. Okay, so yes, this is a function because it passes the vertical line test and x does not repeat. So what is the vertical line test again? It's if you put your pencil on the left side of the graph and you move it across, it will only touch your pencil at any given vertical line you draw. Okay, you'll only cross the vertical line at one point at any given time. All right, so now let's talk about vertical lines. What does a vertical line look like? Well, a vertical line goes up and down. It is graphed in the equation x equals -2. This is our example. So horizontal lines are y equals, vertical lines are x equals, okay? So what do? For x equals -2, you go to -2 on the x-axis and you draw a vertical line. Okay? Now let's create a table for this. So let's use this point, and this point, and that point again. All right, here we go. X and Y. Okay, X here is -2. Y is -1. And then we have -2, 0. This point is at -2, 1. And the next point is at -2, 2. So when you're saying that x equals -2, if you were to create a table, all your x values are -2, which makes this a vertical line. Okay, which axis does this line cross? It is going to cross the x-axis. What is the slope? Well, let's look at it. If we say the change in y over the change in x. Okay, so if we go from here to here, all right, the change in y is 1, 2. Do we have to move over right or left? No, so that's 0. All right, so that means if 0 is under the line, it is undefined. Okay, so it's undefined. All right, so your slope is undefined. You cannot walk on an undefined slope. So if you have a straight up and down line, you cannot get on a treadmill and walk straight up and down. You cannot go for a walk on a straight up and down incline, all right? So it's undefined. What is the Y-intercept and why? Well, there's none. Because the line does not cross the y-axis. Okay? What is the x-intercept of this line? Well, where does this line cross the x-axis? Right there at -2. So your x-intercept is actually -2, 0. All right. And is this a function? No. Because it fails the vertical line test and the x's repeat. Okay? It fails the vertical line test and the x's repeat. All right. So let's work with this just a few minutes. All right, for examples, it says identify the slope and the intercepts, then graph each line. Next, identify each as a horizontal, vertical, or neither. Okay, here we go. So, X equals 4. Is X equals a vertical or a horizontal? Well, what you have to do is you have to go to 4 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you draw a vertical line. Okay. So, we're going to write vertical. And what kind of slope? Remember, M is slope. So what kind of slope do I have? Well, it's an undefined slope. And they're asking what is B. Right up here, I want you to write that B equals the y-intercept. We're very concerned with B. B is something that we're going to be working with from now on. So you need to know that B is the y-intercept. That's where the line crosses the y-axis. All right. So what is there a B-intercept or a y-intercept? No, there's none. All right, number 2. Y equals 0. All right. Y equals 0. So we're going to go to 0 on Y. I'm going to use a highlighter for this one. All right. And you draw a horizontal line. All right. So Y equals is horizontal. Okay, it's a horizontal line. What is the slope? Well, this is a 0 slope because you can walk on it. And the B, does it cross the y-axis? Yes, it crosses at 0. Or is that supposed to be a parenthesis? Sorry. 0, 0. All right. Now remember the little triangle that we drew yesterday. Remember, you have a positive slope, a negative slope, a 0 slope, and an undefined slope. So this triangle will come in handy from now on. All right, y equals -1. Okay, so y equals -1. Is it a horizontal or vertical? Well, we go to -1 on the y. You can't go up and down, so that means we have to draw horizontal line. Okay, what is the slope here? Now you can write the word 0 or you can place a 0 in there. All right, either way, that does not matter. And what is the B or the y-intercept? That B or y-intercept is at 0, -1. Okay, now if you have x equals -5, here we go. So we have to graph this one. X equals -5. We're going to -5 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, once again, if it's x equals, it has to go up and down. All right, so this is vertical. And what kind of slope is this? Well, you can't walk on this slope, so it's undefined. And what is my y-intercept? Does this line cross the y-axis? No, so there is none. There is not a y-intercept. All right, for this summary, here we go. So I'm going to make my colors match. For horizontal, we wrote in pink, so let me make this match here. So what have we learned? We have learned that horizontal lines go right and left. They cross sorry about that. They cross the y-axis and have the equation y equals and a number. Their slope is always 0. and they are functions. They have no x-intercept. All right. So that's what we know about vertical lines. They go right to left. They cross the y-axis. They have the equation y equals in a number. Their slope is always 0, and they are functions. They have no x-intercept. Vertical lines. Vertical lines go up and down. They cross, that's an S, sorry. They cross the x-axis. And have the equation x equals in a number. All right? Their slope is undefined. Sorry, I'm trying to find a correct way to hold this paper. It keeps sliding on me. And they are not functions. They have no y-intercept. All right, vertical lines go up and down. They cross the x-axis and they have the equation x equals in a number. Their slope is undefined and they are not functions. They have no y-intercept. It's very important that you're able to recognize that a y equals equation is a horizontal line with a 0 slope, and that an x equal equation is a vertical line with an undefined slope. Those are the most important things you need to get out of this lesson. Thank you.